My name is Joshua Gennari, and I'm more than just a filmmaker. Film is just a medium by which we present our subject. It is my desire to use this medium to help teach and encourage others. I'm also a seeker of truth. Unfortunately, the problem is that truth oftentimes is stranger than fiction. For me, it was a small, still voice. Some call it their conscience, others their guide. I identify this voice as Yahweh, and it's the voice of my Creator, and what I call the voice of truth. It is a voice I have recognized my whole life, even though much of it I refuse to listen. In the chapter Letting Go of Our Past, the adaptation strategy, I agree we should let go of our past, but don't forget it. It is often our past that we draw from that leads us to our ultimate destiny. For me, it was something said while I was in high school. A woman looked at me and said, "Joshua, you will influence a multitude of people." There was more to that statement, but we'll leave it at that for now. The chapter that really resonated with me, though, was Finding Your Way Back, the life or death strategy. I had to seriously evaluate my life, all of my past experience, before I realized what I was meant to do. I had been running from it for so long. It took me almost running the train off the rails before I could submit to my calling, before I would submit to that voice. It was my turning point, if you will. My life's journey, at a glance, starts with being presented what I was told was a learning disability called dyslexia. I learned it was less of an issue of being a learning disability as much as it was a different way I would need to learn. I realized I wasn't stupid as my classmates had tried to impose upon me. Albert Einstein would become an inspiration to me as we share the same challenge. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm in no way trying to compare myself with an extraordinary mind like Albert Einstein. So anyway, I grew up loving and learning the arts, music, and dance at a young age. I joined the military and learned discipline, being married and divorced and learning pain and sorrow. But most importantly, love sometimes means letting go, and is in and of itself a sacrifice. Being given custody of my son and learning sacrifice as well as responsibility. After being honorably discharged from the military, I went back to school, originally to become a physician's assistant, as I already had an extensive medical background. I quickly learned, due to my own experiences in Iraq, I was no longer going to be able to continue down that course. Once again, that voice said, "Return to the arts." With that came a film-like image in my head. So, I returned to school to learn film. I knew I needed to learn every aspect I could, as opposed to learning just a specific trade. I don't know how or why I knew that, but I found a program at Evergreen State College that would enable this. Now I can assemble my own film production team, no matter where I am, with only the assets that I know that I need. I have come to learn challenges are God's way of strengthening us. Regardless of failure or success, we should always walk away with what we learned. One of the strongest statements that resonated with me from our reading was found on page 43. The road to mastery requires patience. We will have to keep our focus for 5 or 10 years down the road before we ever reap rewards of our efforts. The process of getting there, however, is full of challenges and pleasures. My dream job would be to use film in a multitude of different ways. Making movies, obviously, that inspire. Making teaching and training videos that inspire and uplift people. Teaching people to use digital technologies regardless of business, corporate, or personal use. Helping others to find their destiny. Thank you for watching. I'm Joshua Gennari, and I'm more than a filmmaker.